From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your afternoon update.
Well, temperatures are starting to drop for the inland areas and for Trinity County. But today's kind of, I guess you would say, the peak of the cooling trend. Then after today, temperatures will start to increase, but of course the coast, not really feeling the impacts of that. No major heat waves are in the forecast anytime soon. So here's your hour-by-hour forecast, taking a look at the north coast. And you can see the inland areas around mid-90s, and for the coast, low 60s for those daytime highs. Take a look at Trinity County. You can see temperatures getting close to 100 degrees. And, some of us may touch it. Some of us could just briefly touch that triple-digit mark. But for the most part, upper 90s for some of the warmer spots for Trinity County. Let's take a look at that smoke forecast. We still got that fire down in southwestern Oregon, and that's impacting our weather. Now, the smoke forecast, one thing you have to really keep in mind is that it does take into account the wind pattern. And that's, of course, what's going to transport the smoke in different directions depending on the direction of the winds. But another thing that really is kind of difficult to forecast exactly is the activity of the fire. Because at some points you might see it kind of flare up. You'll see more smoke as a result, but then maybe it kind of dies down a little bit and we see less smoke. So you have to really take that into account. But this kind of gives you a general idea of what you can expect. Now, as we go into the afternoon today, through the afternoon, we're just looking at a lot of just some haze, especially Del Norte and Humboldt County is kind of in that haze and that moderate range right here. So really, a lot of it won't be even that noticeable. You probably won't smell a lot of smoke out there, but there may be just that little hint of smoke that you could, especially down in, it looks like even southern Humboldt County. Now let's take you to tomorrow morning. And we're starting to see a little bit more smoke make its way down into places like Del Norte, northern Humboldt County. So there, of course, I think there will be the smell of smoke by the time we get to tomorrow morning. But by tomorrow afternoon, you can kind of see it spread southward. So there's a better chance of seeing kind of that thicker haze, probably smelling some smoke for a lot of the inland areas in particular. That's Thursday through noon. So just kind of keep that in mind. We could be looking at that flare-up of that fire here. Now we look at futurecast here for the rest of the day today, and there may be some clearing, but we'll call it mostly cloudy. Then by tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon, we're still seeing some of those clouds out there. So probably a lot of the low clouds and fog may stick around for much of the coast. And then going into Friday, you can see Friday, pretty much the same story, maybe a little bit of clearing up north towards northern Del Norte County. Marine alerts, there's a small threat advisory until 7 o'clock this evening. That does include the immediate coast of, say, Crescent City and Eureka, taking you southward. This one will expire at 3 a.m. for the coast of southern Humboldt County. So I want to show you the wave heights, and you can kind of get an idea what's going on. So yeah, they're fairly high today, but as we go into tomorrow, those wave heights are going to start to drop. Now, here's the reason why you can see that small threat advisory will expire a little bit later, because the wave heights are still fairly high down to the south, but we are seeing them drop as you head up to the north. So here's your marine forecast for today. Of course, the low tide was at 8:01 this morning, but this afternoon at 3:07 will be the high tide at 5.7 feet. And of course, no alerts, with the exception of some of that small threat advisory that we do have along the immediate coast. So here's what we have here for Trinity County, upper 90s. Some of us could touch 100 degrees. Otherwise, we're mid to upper 90s for places in the inland areas. And of course, for the coast, much cooler in the low 60s. Here's your 7-day forecast, and you can see temperatures actually increasing. Now, I think Hoopa will most likely stay below 100 degrees during this mini heat wave I've been talking about, but upper 90s for your Friday, Saturday. And there you can see on Thursday, as early as tomorrow, I think Hayfork, Weaverville could be looking at just over 100 degrees, getting much warmer on Friday, and then temperatures will start to drop after that. And looking at your 7-day forecast for Eureka, we're in the low 60s for the next 7 days under partly to mostly cloudy skies.